Good morning, everybody. Hey, how's it going? Going to work here today. We'll see who shows up here. Going to work. Going to work today. It's 6:19 right now. 48 degrees here in California. How's everybody? Hello, Amy. Hey, Bob. How's it going? Everybody hit the thumbs up. We're going on a little trip here, going to work. Alrighty here. Got something here. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody this morning? This Sunday morning here in California, 6:20, 48 degrees outside. Looks like another day here. Here we go. Okay. Sometimes there's some areas where the internet kind of cuts in and out, but it usually comes back. How's everybody this morning? I can't really read the chat, everybody, but thanks for coming, everybody. Wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So, what's everybody else up to here? I'm headed for work here. Be probably about 45 to an hour. Get to work depending on traffic. Some of those little tractors get in the way, or the cows and the sheep. No, just kidding about the cows and the sheep. Let's see here. The sun's barely creeping out. So let's see here. We're talking about yesterday. Talking about my grandma. She was always, cooking stuff. Making different kind of foods. Making tamales, making cakes, stuff like that. I used to always love watching her cook or learn how to cook. Always, because she could make anything. You give her a recipe and she'd make it. It's or crochet something. There was I remember she bought this thing. It was for knitting. It was one of the new things for knitting that you basically just basically was just push in, push out, push pull, push pull. You just had to make the first little loop, and you'd make whatever you wanted to build. You'd make socks. I remember she used to make us beanies. She used to make us like these little, like kind of like I don't know if you ever been to the hospital. They give you these little footies. Where you can walk. Well, the ones my grandma used to make. They were made out of excuse me, out of the yarn. And the thing is, it was you'd wear them and on linoleum. They were fun because you could just I kind of like ice skating with them things on. You just start running down the hallway and then you just slide. Yeah, she used to make like sweaters and even make them scarves. She also did here comes the sun right in the eyeball. She used to also make these like for the tables, little tables, little cloths, and they had like flowers on it, like chickens on it, but it was usually like flowers. It was called, I think it was called cross stitch. Cross stitch is what they called it. And basically you just cross the strings back and forth, and then you make a pattern. You would buy these patterns, and it would go on a ring. You'd stretch the material into the ring, and you'd go in through the bottom, out, back and forth, until you made a design. And then you put on a table, coffee table. They were nice. And then she was doing that. That design of with that push pull one that she got. That was the good thing about that one. Which is what they were selling, was that you could cut it with scissors and it wouldn't unravel. So it was designed that way. So it was pretty neat. And she was always into all kinds of different things. She would read all kinds of books. She would read books on how to give hand massages, certain points in your hand. You start, like if you had a headache, you could rub a certain spot, your back hurt or your stomach hurt, and I don't know, it was strange, but it did work, kind of like acupuncture. I remember, my grandma used to go to some place, and this guy, I don't know if anybody else has done it, where they put a needle on it. I guess supposed to help you lose weight. People are like, sometimes it's all up in your mind. You kind of think about it like, what, does this stuff really work? Well, it's just like you can make yourself sick, just thinking about it, I mean, the mind is pretty strong. I've always thought. Because I remember when I was little, you didn't want to go to school that day. It's like, God, you know what, I'm sick. Pretty sure you did get sick. You start feeling, oh man. But sometimes the thing is, when you get sick, the worst times I remember I got sick. Where you get a fever, and you're sleeping, and you start having these dreams or nightmares. I remember this one time when I in our bedroom where I used to sleep. I used to sleep kind of like in one of the corners, and there was a window to the left of me, and then there was a window right like to the right of me of my head. So I could just like lay down, and then I could just, it was like a curtain. I could kind of move the curtain and kind of look out the window. And I remember that this vividly. This was back like in the 1970s. Let me see, was it? Yeah, the 1970s. And the thing is, I'm like, oh man, I was like having like I think I was having like a nightmare or something. And then I kind of like heard something at the window. And then, so here I am, like, oh, what the heck is going on? So I kind of turned my head toward the window, and then I grabbed the curtain, and I moved the curtain real slow, and I look, and I don't see anything, and I'm looking like this out the window, and then all of a sudden, you see, I saw like I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie It, and I don't remember if the movie had already come out or if I even saw it, but all of a sudden, like there was like a clown with these really big, ugly teeth, and it went like it was like, oh shit, I was like, damn, it was like scared the hell out of me. But I mean, it was like, whoa, like, well, what the heck was that? And then I think it just like woke me up. It's like, geez. And then you have these other dreams, where all of a sudden, you're sitting inside of I think everybody knows what a Volkswagen Beetle is. Volkswagen Beetle. So in this dream I'm having, I'm sitting in a Volkswagen Beetle, and the thing is, I'm not sitting in the front seat, and I'm not driving either. I'm sitting in the back seat of the driver's seat. And I don't know if you've ever sitting in a Volkswagen, or it's like, you're the only way you can get out, because it's a two-door. The only way you can get out is if you put the seat up, and then you get out the door, but somebody has to open the door for you because the handle's like way up there. So I'm sitting there, like, what the heck, I'm sitting in this Volkswagen Bug, Then all of a sudden the Volkswagen Bug started moving, like creeping forward, And I'm like, what the heck? And then I started looking ahead, and I'm like, oh shit, it looks like it's gonna go like kind of like over a cliff. And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, shit, I gotta get out of here, There's nobody in the car. I can't reach the door handle, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like trying to reach for the door handle. And then all of a sudden, there we go. We're going like, you're going like over this cliff, and you're like, you barely got getting the door open, but you can't get out. You're like, boom. And the funny thing is, I mean, this is what I've heard. I guess they say if you die in your dream, when you're dreaming, you can really die in real life. I guess I don't know. I kind of woke up. It's like, oh shoot, good morning, everybody. Hi. It's 49 degrees and 6:34 here in California. And I'm like, oh shoot, I woke up. I'm like, dang, you wake yourself up, and or you're like sleeping, and then all of a sudden you're like feel that you're almost falling off the bed, and you catch yourself, and you wake up, and like, oh, you know, but that's it's. I mean, I don't know if it's true about that dying, but I mean, I've had some crazy dreams. I remember this other dream. We went to, I think went to Mexico, and with some friends and stuff, and then we went to some like disco, and we're like, just having fun and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, some people, started arguing and stuff like that, and then, they started like chasing. They're like chasing you and chasing you. Like, oh shit! And we're like, driving. We were in a van, and you're like, oh, we're, driving, trying to get across the border. Like I think it was like 3 a.m. or something like this. And there's hardly any traffic at that time, so you're like, oh, trying to get across the border and stuff, and then all of a sudden, these guys are chasing us in cars and trying to, crash us, make us stop, Then the guys are like, oh, telling us stop, and then I don't know for what reason, but then one of the guys that was with us in the van, he decides to open the side door, it's like, what the heck are you doing? And then he had like, I guess he had a gun or something, so he's like shooting at the other people, and then all of a sudden the other guys, they had like a shotgun, I guess, and then it's like, boom, they shot it, like, oh shit, and I look, and I'm like, I got shot in the gut, like, oh my god, like, oh man, I'm like I'm bleeding, and I'm like, oh shoot, it's like, what the hell is going on here? And then, just like any what the ending was, it's like, oh darn, what was the ending of this? Did I die? I guess not. I mean, I'm still here. but it's crazy, how dreams work. But sometimes, sometimes they feel so real. I mean, I remember when I was in like junior high, like in the seventh and eighth grade. The dreams. Usually the dreams you have, it's always about school. And so like, you always have that dream, or like oh shoot, you look down and you go, oh shoot, why am I barefooted? Why I'm not wearing these shoes? It's like, I'm like, hey, at least I'm wearing clothes. I'm not naked. But and then now kids in schools, so I don't know about in some places, in some other countries, they might still have them. When you go to school, you have a locker, and you have to have the combination to it, And it was always like, oh man, you're always, having this dream that you forget your combination. And you're like trying to open up the locker and you can't, And I mean, you had your regular locker for your books, and then when you went to PE, then you had a locker there because you had to change into your PE clothes and stuff. And then it was always that I guess it was that fear of, oh man, I forgot what was the combination, and you had to go. And if you didn't have the combination, you forgot the combination. The thing was, you had to go to the office, and tell them, hey, you know what? Because all your lockers had a where you kept your books had a number on it, so you just gave them the number, and they have a list, and they tell you, this is the number for your locker. So you go, you know, and then kids back then, they used to break into some people's lockers, they got, usually you could just get like a screwdriver and pry it and pop it open, just take out whatever you had in there, if you had any money in there. So you gotta hide your lunch, as they say, hide your lunch money. I know I don't have any money. And back then, you always had, I used to wrestle in PE, and I used to, play baseball, basketball, you know. But then I remember one time we were out there, and then these guys were playing basketball, and they started this and that, and then the PE teacher comes over, and guys are arguing, this and that. So he's all like, "Okay, that's it. All you guys, come on over here with me." And then I'm like, oh. So I wasn't even playing; I was just watching them. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I'm walking away, and he goes, "Hi, where are you going?" "What do you mean? You come too?" And I'm like, "What? What did I? I didn't do anything. I was just watching the game." He was all like, "Nah, come on." I'm like, oh, okay. So then we go to the locker room. And then back in the day, this was in the 70s. It's not like like now. Teachers can't touch you. Back then, they would swat you. They had these big wooden paddles. Then some of them even drilled holes, through the paddles. So I guess less wind resistant. They could really swing that that paddle. And they're like, okay, grab the bench and bend over, and then boom, you paddle. And of course you're not gonna cry because you're not gonna let your friends see you cry. And then okay, who's all right? You're next, and everybody got swatted that day. It was like, oh man. And then your parents would sign a paper, because you take all in the first year of the school year, you take all these papers home. The parents have to sign. And one of the papers, it had, you're giving consent to beat the shit out of your kids, I guess, back in the day. Now you touch a kid and it's like, oh, wait till my parents here, you're going to get sued. The school can get sued. It's child abuse. Back then, even teachers, I remember you weren't allowed to chew gum in the class. And then, one of the teachers, he was like real mean. He wouldn't just, hey, what are you chewing gum? He would just, some teachers, okay, get the trash can. All right, spit your gum out. Oh, this teacher, man, he was mean. He goes, put the gum in your hair, And hey, you're afraid, like shit, And, the kids would put the gum in their damn hair. Then they have to go home, and then the parents have to get the gum out, And it's like, oh, and then there was this one teacher. He was a science teacher, and he was I guess I don't know if he was in a car accident, or I don't remember. He might have been in the military, and I think he got one of his legs messed up. But he had a leg brace on all his legs. His name was Mr. Sakuma, and he would walk, with a crutch on that side, and he'd like walk kind of funny. But he also one time he was one of the kids was like being disrespectful, you know. So it's all like, okay, yeah, come here, get, you know, get in front, you know, put your put your hands on the desk, you know, grab the desk, and then I mean, you know, he was, you know, he's all, you know, walking over there with the paddle, you know, and then he gets right next to him, you know, and then he puts the good hand, you know, the one that doesn't have the you know, that crutch. So he's using the hand that had the crutch, you know. So you know that hand's, I guess it's got you know, real strong, you know. So he's over there grabbing the desk and trying to balance himself, and he's like swinging away, you know, giving him three swats, you know. It's like you know, but it's like, oh man. I mean, the science class was pretty good because we used to it was there was different kind of science, you know, where life science or it's basically you don't do anything, you just all books. I mean, that one was pretty neat because you dissect dissect stuff, you know, they're you'd like cut open different things, you know. I think one day we had a cow's eyeball, and then you know all the girls, oh, it's gross, you know. And you always had a partner, you know. Either had, you know, maybe two or three or four in the group, you know. And you know, some of them, you know, they don't want to open them up, you know. Then he would give you a scalpel, you know. You'd cut open the eyeball, you know, look in the inside and see how different things, you know, the nerves and stuff on the eyeball, you know. And then I think one day we even had I think it was I think it was a cow heart, you know. And then we opened that one up, and then one time we had a frog, you know. The thing about frogs, I don't know if anybody's ever dissected a frog. You know, you open it up and you see the insides. You know, they have, you know, it's almost like the anatomy, I think, of a human being. You know, because it has the liver, the heart, in the same places, the lungs. You know, but I mean, science is pretty. You know, some things are kind of gross, but I mean, you know, you learn a lot of things. You know, if you get into that, you know, into that field, you know, become a doctor or a vet. But you know, it was kind of neat, you know, where you're dissecting stuff, you know, and you know, learn the different things, you know. I mean, but you know, it's you know, I thought it was fun, you know. And you get into high school, and then in high school, you know, you have also science and math and history, you know, PE also. That's one thing back then, you know. You always, you know, you had people were more athletic back then, you know. There was more going outside and exercising. Nowadays, you know, the kids, they don't even go outside. I mean, they're like, what are they doing? They're with their phone, you know. It's like, you know, you got to go outside and go into nature. Now kids, all they do is just either watching TV or not even TV. They're basically, the TV is their phone. You know, they're all texting each other. You know, no more family time. It's like they're all at the kitchen table, and they're like basically texting each other. They're right across from each other. They're not even talking, like texting, giggling. Parents are going, I mean, you gotta watch what your kids are doing on their phones. The phone is adored everywhere in the world. Good and bad. So those parents, need to look at what their kids are watching. They're like, but it has a lock on it. They can't go into certain websites. Come on, kids nowadays, they can break into anything, do anything. I know my kids. We used to, when we first started getting into technology. I think our first phone. The first phone that, not the first phone, the first computer that I got, first computer that we got, I believe it was a Windows 95, and then we didn't even have, now it's that fast internet, it's like 500. Speed that we have right now at home is 500. Back then it was the dial-up. Either anybody expecting any phone calls? You can't. The phone, the computer is going to be using the line, and then you'd hear that, and it would like connect to the internet. And then you could buy that internet called net zero. Basically, it give you free internet. I think it was I forget how many hours a month it would give you for free. You could always upgrade to the next level and get unlimited. But we're like, we're not gonna pay for internet. It's like you have the dial-up, and then you start looking in. Then they had Napster. Start downloading, the songs. And we're talking. You put a song to download and it would start. So it would start, and then in 24 hours it'd be downloaded. And hopefully it was a good download, because there was some that were bad. You didn't know if it was good, depending on whoever put it out there. Same thing with there was movies, that were barely coming out in the theaters. You're like, hey, these were like DVD quality, like real good quality. You would look for the best quality to download. But the only thing is, it would take you. If you had that dial-up, the thing was so slow. It would take you like 7 days. 7 days to download a movie. It was like, oh man. And then the funny thing is, if the connection would fail, the only good thing is it would save whatever was already downloaded. And then once the connection was reconnected, it would start up, the download again on that movie. And then I remember we downloaded the first Lord of the Rings movie, and it was like, oh my God, it took forever, but finally it did. And then you start watching it, and it was like, oh man, it was a 3-hour long movie. But it was, the quality, the quality of the download was pretty really good, I guess, for the time. And then you're like watching watching the movie. Hey, it's in the theaters. It hasn't gone out yet, but hey, I got it. And then our kids, they started getting smarter. Because at school they did have faster internet. They didn't have no dial-up. They had they called it DSL. I mean, for the time, there was like, 1990, 98, and about 97, 1997. And the thing is, the kids, they're supposedly, you can't go into any that's protected. See, that's the thing that people say, they can't download, they can't go into certain websites in schools because they have a block on the internet. Oh, but kids, they're so smart. I mean, my kids, they would go to the classroom, because computer, they didn't have a computer for every classroom. It was only for a computer. So what would these kids do? They would make a file, and just put, homework or on the name of it. So, the teacher's not gonna get, suspicious about it. And they would go in there, and then they would go in. You can't go into certain websites to download, but you would go into another website, and then that one you would kind of like, I don't know how it was, but they would like make them fake, trick the computer that they weren't, going into that, going into that, into that, yeah, it was like, you're not, they're not gonna, they think they're gonna stop the kids from going into certain websites. That's a bunch of baloney. What do you think? What do you think? There's so many hackers out there. They hack into stuff. They even hack into government. Hack into the government websites. So then they get in trouble. The government gets them. Hey, well, you're so good at hacking. You don't want to go to jail. Come and work for us. Gonna stop other hackers from hacking. But yeah. So then when my kids, instead of 5 days, a whole week just to download a movie, they would download a movie like in one day. So then the next day when they went to the classroom, they would take a disc with them, Then they would copy the movie onto the disc. Now you have a movie on a disc. Come home and watch a movie. People are like, it's like when Napster, everybody was downloading music, and then they're like, the government, everybody started getting scared, because the government's going to come knocking at your door, and you're going to get arrested for copyright, But there was still people out there, downloading, music and illegally. But the government's not going to go after some kid downloads maybe 4 albums or stuff like that. They're going to go after the big people that have thousands and thousands. Kind of like almost somebody that would be kind of like Netflix. Like if it was an illegal site. But we all know Netflix. You pay for it. It's all paid for. Everybody gets paid for all the movies. Now I even think they even have gaming. They have games that you download. But it's like, and you did hear some stories. I don't know if they were true, but they was like, oh yeah, so and so got busted. They busted their door down. arrested him. Then finally, Napster ended up getting shut down. But then, as soon as they shut him down, another one pops up. I mean, you can only do so much, Just like all these scammers that call you on the phone, everybody. You probably got that phone call, your warranty on your Dodge Durango is ended. You need to call us now. Now this is your last warning, or you get the one from the IRS that's looking for you. We know where you live. It's like if you don't, we're gonna warrant for your arrest. I used to laugh at them when they called me. Yeah, sure, whatever. If you are the IRS, you know where I live. Come on down. I'll open the door for you. You don't have to tear it down. Oh man, or you get the ones that I remember one time. I think somebody called me, and this guy was trying to scam some money. But the thing was, he called me from a number that I thought it was somebody else. The thing is, you don't give any information. I never gave out any information, but I called him by a certain name. I thought it was my wife's brother. I thought it was my brother-in-law. And then, he's all telling me, hey, are you home? At the time I was driving, and then he's all like, hey, are you home? I'm like, no, I'm not home, but I'll be home probably another 15 minutes, and then, he's all, okay, I'll be at your house. I'll go to your house. And I'm like, oh, you're coming over? Oh, okay. So then I'm started, something like in my mind went bing, light bulb. It's like, what the heck, I don't think it was him. So then I look at the phone number, and then I call the phone number back. And those phone numbers they're not real ones. So it's like the phone number you've reached is not available. It's like okay. So I'm like, okay. But this guy, he was gonna call me back in 15 minutes. So then 15 minutes passed, and then the phone rings, and yep. Guess who? And he's all like, oh yeah, oh, and then he starts like, oh, you know what? Oh, I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it to your house. He was telling me. But see, the thing is, he didn't know the person who the person was to me. So he was thinking. He was thinking he was my nephew or something, because he was pretty young. So he's all started calling me, and he was talking in Spanish. So deal, and I'm like, oh yeah, so I'm like, oh yeah, so what happened? I'm like, so I said, oh, I'm gonna play a game with him too. So I'm like, oh, what happened, mijo? What happened? And then he's all like, oh, well, I was driving to your house, and I got into a car accident. Oh man, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm at the hospital now. Oh man, you're at the hospital. Oh, that's not good. Hopefully you're good. No, but now I'm at the hospital, and then here comes the part. It's like, oh, I need money. Oh, you need money, Oh, by the way, what was your name? And then he's all like, well, you know who I am? I'm such and such a person. And really? Oh. And who are you related to? and then he's trying to lie his way through it, and then he's all like, and it's like, well, you know what? I'm like, as far as I know, I don't have any nephews by that name, so I don't know who the hell you are, and so it's like he all of a sudden click, he hangs up. It's like, oh my god, I was laughing. It was so funny. But yeah, he's like trying to doing the crying stuff. And then you get these phone calls like that. People. There is some people that are tricked, and they fall for it. They start. They always want you to go get that $500. You know, the iTunes card. Go to the 7-Eleven. And basically they have they know where, because they go, oh, such and such a place, and you know then you see these people trying to, yeah, and then you have to give me the numbers of the card so that way I can this warrant, so that way you won't get arrested. The sheriffs are gonna go knocking at your door, and then another place where I work at, they like the electric company, and then there's people, they get scammed, and pretty sure you see some people coming in and going to the place and go, hey, you know what, I paid my electric bill, but now somebody called me and said there's we're gonna get shut off, the power, I can't. It's summertime, it's 120 degrees outside, I can't have them turn off my power, and I paid my bill, I don't know what's going on, and they're telling me I owe like $500, and that I need to go get a card, and then give them the card number over the phone, and then I'll be okay, because if not, then they're just gonna go and shut me off, And then we keep telling, and lady at the place, the electric company, is like, no. Like, don't do that. They're trying to steal your money. I remember talking to this lady. She came in and she was asking me, hey, this and this. I'm like, oh no, you don't want to do that. And she goes, no, the thing is, I already did. Oh man, I'm like, what do you mean you already did? Yeah, I sent them $500. I'm like, oh man, that's it. That money's pretty much gone. I go, they're not gonna be able to help you here. Now you need to go to the police department. You need to go to the police department and report it. Now it's basically a crime now. I mean, the electric company can't do it because they're not connected to it. And the thing is that when you look at your phone, the caller ID, it says the company of the name. They trick the phone, to thinking that it's the electric company that's calling them, and it's not. So it's like, oh man, you have to watch it. People have to be, but they usually get the elderly. They trick them, and then you get a lot of businesses. Big businesses that, because they all, big businesses, they're gonna owe a lot of electricity. Their monthly electric bill probably, not hundreds of dollars, but thousands of dollars. So they have a business. They don't want their power to be turned off and stuff like that. So yeah, it's crazy how people get scammed from their money. It's like, you gotta watch it. And don't get scammed. Let's see here. Have to work here. Let's see who's in here. Hey, Connor, how's it going? Okay, Christina, Stefan, hey, what's up? How's the UK there? The weather still foggy and cold. Let's see here. Hey, how's it going, Job? What's in your backyard? Hey. Hey, Bubbles, how's it going? Ah, it's okay, Connor. If you missed it, no, don't worry about it. Hey, Jasmine, doggone sun here. Let's see, Rob Black, Ragna, Amy, Bob Black. Hey, Kurtwood, how's it going? Yeah, heading to work too. Mr. D, Professor. Christina, Weeds, Devilish, Chubster, Cheesecake. What's up? You're making me hungry with that name. So everybody, have a good day, good afternoon, or good evening. Hope everybody's fine. And says we got 14 likes and 2 people still here, wherever it is. Thanks for coming. You know, hopefully didn't bore you guys to death. Hit the like button, hit and share. Hit the reminder. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Everybody, that's in the chat, look up everybody else's channels and subscribe, share the love, and just grow together, man. You just gotta increase them subscribers and just have a good day of it. Um, thanks for coming, everyone. And as Keith says, call your mama, tell her you love her, because remember, she's the one that gave you life, and you never know how long she'll be around. And I don't know if anybody that knows Keys, he did lose his mom at a young age. In fact, he was talking about her that it was her birthday the other day, and the only thing he has to do to celebrate is her ashes still. But you know, if you have your mom, give her a hug, tell her you love her. Bye, everybody. Till the next time.